Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Who We Are Open Day. We are delighted to have you with us. To begin, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Yasmin Bizaz, who will start the presentation. She will be followed after by Dr. Christine Osei. After the presentations, we will have a Q&A session. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A section to write to us and not the chat box, as this will not allow you to submit any questions. We hope you enjoy the session and find it informative and engaging. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Christine. All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Dr. Yasmin Bizaz. I'm a program leader at the business department of the School of Doctoral Studies at Unicaf University. And I'm just going to start this presentation. Let me just share my screen. Okay, perfect. I think you can see it now. Today's webinar is titled Who We Are. We will basically be presenting our university to you, as well as our different programs, and talk a bit about the student experience at Unicaf University. So please stay tuned and also leave any questions that you may have in the Q&A box, as mentioned earlier by Christine. Now, let me just start by saying that at Unicaf University, we are committed to help you build the career and life of your dreams through very personalized guidance, follow-up for each and every one of our students. Really pride ourselves on this, let's say, hands-on approach, and we are there for all of our students throughout their whole program from start to finish. Now, this might be a less known fact, maybe for some of you at least, but Unicaf is among the biggest providers in Africa of doctoral degrees, and this is a result of a rigorous monitoring and evaluation processes, starting from the first stages of admissions, going up to graduations. This is not an easy feat, and I think not a lot of universities can pride themselves on having reached that with the level, again, of rigor and academic excellence that it takes to basically reach this goal. Now, our mission, as every organization has, is specifically here now, since we're talking about academics, to nurture academic distinction and also to encourage all of our students to grow, to think more critically about the world, about problems that they might encounter, as well as spark innovation, and try to transform education in the region, but also globally, and in a way that accounts for all the cultural diversity that makes our continent. And we are also committed through that to empower our learners with all the techniques and the competencies that are needed in the 21st century. This is, through state-of-the-art technology, through exemplary teaching standards, and meaningful research that will help advance all of the societal goals that maybe we're all striving for, but also obviously our personal and professional goals and achievements. Now, the vision of the university is to set the benchmark for accessible and flexible higher ed education. So education doesn't have to be confined to maybe the traditional way that we are used to seeing it. It can be both accessible, flexible, while remaining innovative and inclusive, and also foster community engagement through and across Africa and beyond. So one of our main, let's say, goals and honors also, Unicaf University has pledged to provide its students with academic programs that are, as I said, academically challenging and sound, but also relevant and significant to their country's social and economic development. And this is something that we see very often, more often than not, actually, with our students' proposals and their thesis. They are able to very clearly identify gaps in knowledge, gaps in practice, and then work hard towards bridging those. And that's something that's also, a big source of pride for our university. Now, in terms of our commitment to research excellence, obviously we are a global educational organization, sorry. So we are dedicated to maintaining standards of research excellence and scholarship, as well as making social responsibility and community centered research the heart and really the core of our interests that will allow us to drive meaningful, impactful, and community-centered projects. We also strive very hard to stay aligned with global goals. We're going to speak on that, but our efforts are, for example, aligned with the Agenda 2063 of Sustainable Development Goal, the SDGs set by the UN, which promote long-term development across Africa. So in terms of to hone in, maybe to focus on this area of social responsibility, this social responsibility plan really reflects the way we try to seek these achievable and effective long-term goals to support the UN's call for action, and that's because education is at the center of that. Obviously, education, health, reducing inequalities, driving economic growth, all of these things are linked. Climate change, obviously, is also a big part of it. Preservation of the world's resources, whether that is, the oceans, the forests, etc. And that is obviously guided by, again, the African Agenda 2063 and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So we primarily focus on how can we support, again, African communities and other growing economies through this lens, this social responsibility lens. Now, Unicaf University's aim is to allow for immediate research impacts. This is very important. So we're trying to build a Pan-African research heritage through which a prosperous Africa will emerge in line with the guidelines we mentioned earlier. And that's done through academic leadership and strategic partnerships. We will also be discussing those very specifically and in detail. That allows our students, our communities to disseminate the research that is being done. And in general, the creation of a very rich research culture in which all of these exchanges are also possible, and in which the benefit is and the implications, contributions are shared with the biggest number. In terms of our networks, it's important to note that we are present through 10 support centers across Africa. This is a very strategic move on our part that helps provide accessible education and support for students in proximity to them whenever possible. We also have a global network of collaborations that's done through through the collaboration with educational institutions. There are programs that allow for that and academic exchanges. There are also our continuous collaboration with government bodies, to allow for policy alignment and to follow any educational reforms that are set in place. This is also done with corporate organization. This provides opportunities for internships and research funding. And finally, NGOs. Obviously, these are very important also in our contexts, in our countries. These allow for joint initiatives and community impact programs. Now, in terms of for specific physical locations. Well, first of all, we are a Pan-African institution. As I said, we're independent. We are an internationally accredited, and we'll also talk about this, independent university with a focus on providing quality education across Africa. We have 2 campuses established in Malawi and Zambia. You can see here in the picture, this is our Zambia campus. And we also have a more extensive network with 10, as I said, 10 support centers across Africa and a presence in 15 countries to bring education as close to our student as possible. So our different memberships are the following. We are members of the United Nations Academic Impact. We're also members of the International Council for Open and Distance Education, of the Association of Commonwealth Universities. We're also a signatory of the UN's Principles for Responsible Management Education Initiative. We are institutional members of the Advanced Higher Education Organization. We're part of the European Distance and E-Learning Network and members of the Association of African Universities, as well as the Southern African Regional Universities Association, SARWA. In terms of accreditation, this is a question that comes also very often from our students. We are accredited globally by the British Accreditation Council, BAC. So we are recognized as an independent higher education or as independent higher education providers by the BAC. And this is a very high quality assurance proof, I want to say, because BAC ensures that their accreditation sends a positive and clear message to students and partners that they are studying with a trusted and reliable provider who has met a series of globally recognized quality assurance standards. This is very important to us, but we're also accredited locally. So both our campuses are accredited locally. Our university, Unicaf University in Malawi is accredited by the National Council for Higher Education, and Unicaf University in Zambia is accredited by the Higher Education Authority. Now, something that is very important and in the core of the way that we offer our programs is flexible learning. So this is done thanks to our asynchronous online education platform. You can basically learn anytime, anywhere with our flexible online study model. So this is really all of our learning, let's say, is at your own pace. You can progress at your own pace. You can learn in your own time. You can use the device that you wish to study on from the comfort of your own home. And I think, well, generally, this is a really big advantage in today's world. So this is very important. Another question that comes up quite often is why pursue a doctoral degree? Many people obviously have different reasons for doing so. These can be personal, professional, they could be simple, they can be quite complex, but it's important to maybe note some of the some of the most important reasons why this degree or this program path is relevant. First of all, in terms of professional development and career advancement, this is a notable one. Any type of doctoral degree will, first of all, enhance your skills and thus allow you to progress within either your organization or to progress in general towards leadership roles, academic positions, and industry expertise. This can be done through reaching advanced knowledge and theory application. When you have a PhD or a doctorate, you are considered an expert in your field. And so this degree obviously strengthens your ability to then develop, apply, integrate advanced knowledge and theories in your field. enhance professional practice as well, because it's important to combine academic rigor with practical relevance to then elevate also your practice, as a practitioner. Having this knowledge and these skills can help very clearly. Contribution to cutting edge knowledge. So one of the main also, I want to say, in interests of doing research is being able to then disseminate it, to share it with as many people as possible, people that might benefit from it. And so if you're able to pursue a PhD, you are for sure contributing to innovation is very important in these degrees. So you're contributing to driving innovation by contributing to new knowledge in your field. You will become a thought leader, as I said, an expert, and you will be able to influence industry or sectorial development. And finally, also, this is related to everything said above, but this opens the door to professional and research networks, to your peers, your colleagues, and other researchers or other experts, in which you will, or with whom you'll be able to then collaborate, whether again it is in research or in practice. So this is very important, because you can gain through this degree membership and recognition in these fields and these professional and research communities, and thus expand your influence and your collaborations. I'm going to now give the floor to my colleague, Dr. Christine, to continue on with the presentation. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yasmin. So my name is Dr. Christine Usai. I'm the program leader in the Department of Education at the School of Doctoral Studies with Unicaf University. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you for taking the time to join us to have this great conversation about the way forward in groundbreaking research. I'm sure you'd like to contribute in your community. You'd like to drive policy advocacy and some decisions that would really help reimagine how things are done. And I'd like to assure you that you are actually in the right place. As we continue, probably we are able to clarify some of the questions that you have. I see a couple of questions that have come up, but I will continue with this presentation. We'll probably address some of them. And then at the end, you'll have enough opportunity to ask questions. In the meantime, just keep them coming in the Q and A button that you have there. Yes, so just before Dr. Yasmin handed over to me, she was talking about the benefits of, taking a doctoral degree. And I want to say that part of my presentation is answering the question, what's in it for you? We have spent some time talking about what we offer, but I would also like to emphasize what's in it for you. And I'd like to begin by talking to people who are really interested in driving community impact. If you are interested in driving impact in your local community, there are different things that happen in there, and your research could be the one that changes how things are done. Your research could be the one that contributes to boosting of the local economy. It could be the one that contributes to how we reimagine the classroom and educational policies that would then lead to graduates who can actively and productively participate. The world could be waiting for your innovative research for this to happen. The reason you should also do this is that the research that our students partake are usually community centered in approach. So they are focused on eliminating social, cultural, and ethical constraints within specific social networks, fostering positive change. And you could be the champion to drive these changes if you undertake your study with us. Our students also are actively involved in the community. They develop local business infrastructure, they educate the communities in public health, they empower and protect women and vulnerable populations, and they also protect minors and individuals with disabilities. Before I get into the next slide, where I'm going to talk about some of the testimonials from our students, I'd like to give one of my own. I am actually an alumni of Unicaf University, and through my research with Unicaf University, I have gotten opportunities that I wouldn't otherwise have been able to have. I get consulted in different ways that allow me to productively contribute to the education system within the spaces that I occupy. I find myself able to drive decision-making and policy advocacy at tables where those decisions can actually lead to some impact. I also get an opportunity to rub shoulders with the larger community of groundbreaking researchers that are like-minded in what we want to achieve. And so I just want to summarize this by saying this Unicaf gives you an opportunity to turn your dream into a reality, to turn your idea into something that could actually change how things are done and actually be impactful in the community. Now, in this next slide, we have three of some current, some former students who are giving testimonials on how this program has been beneficial to them. And we thought it wise to share this with you. I'd like to begin with Norman Ambunya from Kenya, who is studying a PhD in accounting and finance. He says, "This is my first time enrolling in an online program, and I get a lot from online education compared to the brick and mortar education. If you're looking for quality education without having to commit to a classroom, check Unicaf and enroll in one of its programs." Louise Marcelpat in Jamaica, with a Doctor of Business Administration, says, "My learning journey with Unicaf University to attain my Doctor of Business Administration has been an experience that mirrored the ups and downs of my life's journey. Just as in life, this academic pursuit has been filled with moments of joy, challenges, frustrations, and times when I felt like giving up and walking away. However, it is through these experiences that I have grown both personally and professionally. And indeed, if it is not challenging enough, then it is not worth it. My personal belief is that an education system should be one that inspires curiosity, should be one that pushes you beyond the limits to get to the new, and not just claim that you have a copy of the will. Irena Agustin, speaking from Antigua and with a doctorate of education, says, "Unicaf University provided the opportunity for me to pursue doctoral studies, which significantly relieved the financial burden that accompanies such a course of study. The learning journey was life-changing from the inception. The facilitators for the modules were great, and their feedback helped tremendously to guide me through the process." I do concur with this because when I joined Unicaf, actually it was my first university where I undertook online studies. It was mainly self-paced, independent. I could access these courses at my own time, and it was staggered enough to allow me to financially support myself, of course, with a scholarship that was also provided. And it provided me with multiple opportunities, to learn new things, to practice enough, to find out more. And in that way, I was able to actually complete my studies within the time that I was supposed to do it. And I did this during COVID-19 when the world around me had completely shut down, but I still had an opportunity with internet and a computer to still engage with my supervisor and ensure that I completed my study. So this is truly an opportunity also for you. So Papadopoulos summarizes this by saying, "A doctoral degree tests, assesses, and rewards the doctoral student, as it is not just another degree framed on the wall. It's not just another piece of paper. It's a vision that provides personal fulfillment on the one hand and social commitment and responsibility on the other. Every waking hour of my life, I am very much aware of my research areas, and I keep asking myself, what contributions can I make?" This opportunity allows you to see yourself as an active, productive member of the society, not just someone who is participating, but someone who is actively taking responsibility and designing culturally relevant projects and contributions that actually improve the conditions, the socio-economic conditions that we have around it. There's a great possibility with research. These are the programs that we currently have, mainly with business, education, information technology, and also public health, law and politics. Or you can have a more professional doctorate course with education or in business. So all these are within the ranges that you can choose from, any line that you want from this menu. And this information is also on our website. So even as I'm speaking, you could scroll down and see which one you are actually interested in. When you finally get successful through your application process and you get matriculated into the system, your study will be structured into huge phases. The first phase is the taught modules. The taught modules are the foundational modules that are meant to build your foundational skills in research. In these modules, you get to study about the different research philosophies and paradigms, the different methodological approaches that you can take, the different designs within these approaches, data analysis and all. But you also get some taught packages that allow you to assess the status quo within the context of your study. So for example, what are the policies within your country? You get some courses on leadership and all. These courses are mainly to help you socialize with the context of your study before you launch the dissertation modules. Now, the second phase is then the dissertation modules, where you have enough time with the topic that inspires your research and enough time with a specialized supervisor in your field of study. And so you take about 4 dissertation courses, allowing you to scaffold your main paper into chunks, of research that you can manage within those stages. So dissertation stage 1 is mainly on chapter 1, and then you go to chapter 2, literature review, and then you go to chapter 3, where you describe your methodology and your instruments and get ready for data collection. Go to the field, collect data, and then chapter 4 is where you compile, dissertation stage 4 is where you compile everything into that thesis manuscript and get ready for a viva presentation. So it is broken down, scaffolded nicely for you to be able to complete them, because Unicaf has in mind that our students also have other responsibilities other than just the rigorous PhD program. And because of that, it is bite-sized chunks of knowledge or pieces or milestones that you are able to cover, in steps until you reach the end. So when I talk about the research modules, it sounds like, oh, how many are these? There are only 4 dissertation modules, and they are your actual research. So it's just broken down for you to be able to easily concentrate on chapter 1, finish, move to chapter 2, finish, move to chapter 3, all while working very closely with your supervisor, and also with the freedom to review a range of current articles, current books on research in your field within our well-resourced library, and also opportunities, to present at different research groups. I'll talk about that later. In the taught elements, these are some of the examples of the modules that you take in the taught modules. And then you could just take me to the next slide. And then when we get to the dissertation slides, then, the dissertation modules, then it will mainly be a concentration on your research. So this is how this is broken down. The research element, first of all, it has the thesis write-up process. So you'll have the 4 dissertation stages, 6 months each, and that is not a very long time. When you look at it, when people join the program, they want to finish within 1 year. But for you to do something that you will be proud of, it takes time, and you really need to go in depth. So there will be 4 dissertation stage modules. And then you'll have the doctoral dissertation examination, and then you'll have an opportunity, to present. In the African colloquial context, we call it defense, thesis defense. And then you'll have your final thesis submission, and then we'll be happy to graduate you and say, go and break the ground with your groundbreaking research. You're ready to go. All right, so let's talk about the supervisors that we have. So we have a group of experienced academics from all over the world. Our supervisors are well established in their fields, offering vast academic expertise. You are not their first supervisee. They have done this, they have this, they've been doing this, and they are authorities in the specific fields. They are global experts. We have them from all over the world, and we actually assign them by matching them to the area of focus. We carefully match candidates' research interests with the right supervisory expertise for a productive mentorship experience. So for some of you who have joined this call this afternoon, if you have started the short course, the application course, and you're meeting with a tutor who is giving you feedback, usually sometimes applicants confuse that tutor with their supervisor. No, that is a person who is supposed to help you through the process of submitting your application. Once you're done with that, then we go to the taught modules, and then when you launch your dissertation modules, then you get assigned a specific supervisor to help you with your research. So what is in the doctoral dissertation examination? So the doctoral dissertation examination is conducted after a successful completion of all the taught courses, research, and dissertation stages. And the purpose is to ensure that doctoral candidates have written their doctoral thesis, someone else did not do it for you, and defended their thesis prior to the completion of their degree. So we just want to ensure that this is authentic and this was genuinely done. Something I admire about Unicaf, again, is the authenticity and restriction into actually doing it and going in depth. I am sure at the end of everything, you'll be proud of what you come out with after going through the rigor of the program, of course, with round-the-clock support and feedback. Now let's talk about your experience as a student once you join us. What's in there for you? So to enrich our student experience, knowing that this is a fully online degree, we have several opportunities and events. So we hold the Freshers' Day, and this event is meant to welcome and orient the new doctoral students. So, excuse me, if you become part of us, then you are eligible for this event and you will enjoy it, because this is what will help you acclimate to the online environment, to the nuances of online engagement and all. And then there's also Surviving the Thesis Day, and this is meant to give you practical advice and strategies for successfully completing your thesis. So most students are usually afraid, what will I do? How will I do it? But we have such things before you make the presentation to adequately prepare you into what you should expect. We also have Surviving the Viva Day, and this event is meant to provide guidance on preparing for and excelling in your Viva examination. We also have doctoral research groups, and these are several. In these groups, you get the opportunity to present your work at whatever stage you are. Even if you're just at chapter 3, you've not yet gone for data collection, this gives you an opportunity to present your work to fellow students and faculty members so that you receive some questions to help you realign your work in a proper way. And then we also have access to previous webinars and recordings, including this one that we are making right now. Actually, if you visited our website, you'd realize that we have a lot of videos there, resources that you can still go through to get to learn more about us. Others are within the modules that you actually take once you've been enrolled. We also have annual Unicaf University Graduate Conference that you get a chance to participate in, because this is meant for our students. This is a platform for doctoral students to showcase their research, engage in academic discussions, and network with peers and faculty. And these sessions are usually very revealing, because you get to know what other people are preoccupied with in terms of research, what other academics are looking at, what other groundbreaking research work is taking place and all. We also have Unicaf graduate students paper that we publish every year. And this is a Unicaf online journal, an opportunity to publish research papers in the Unicaf online journal, promoting visibility and academic contributions. Your work gets out there so people can learn from it and do something about it. And then we also have various workshops. These are interactive sessions to develop and refine research skills across various disciplines. So all these opportunities are meant, for you to build a community, to help you get the peer collaborative support that you may need in your journey through this rigorous program, and to also, these are also eye openers into what insights, what else is happening elsewhere, what are people doing about things, what are people talking about in other places. And the beauty of it is that Unicaf is a global community. We have people from different places, and so you get to listen to and read about research, from all over the world in those different contexts. We also have a publication of the thesis. So completed thesis will be published in the thesis repository on the Unicaf University website, and this increases visibility and academic impact of your work. And then we also have graduates and current doctoral students who can enhance their employability by working part-time as teaching staff or for bachelor's and master's degree programs. And I am a living testimony here because before I graduated, I had an opportunity to work part-time teaching mainly the bachelor's and the master's courses as I was studying. So this was a great opportunity, and this opportunity is out there also for you. And then we also have postdoctoral scholarships, introduction of postdoctoral scholarships to support further academic research and career development opportunities. So if you enlist yourself with us for our program, then you get an opportunity to enjoy what all our students are enjoying. So then you're asking yourself, okay, so I've heard about you, and then I now know what's in it for me. I am interested. So what is required? So here are the admissions requirements. So first, academic qualifications. You need an accredited master's degree in a relevant subject area from a recognized university to be enrolled into a doctoral program. And this should be, there should be an official master's degree transcript from that institution. And then for language proficiency, because we do not want to set you up to fail, if previous studies were not in English, recognized proof of English proficiency is required, even though for some of our courses, we have the versions in French and also have them in English. Alternatively, an IELTS score of 6.5 or an English placement test result with a 6.5 equivalence would suffice. But just take note of the first bullet point. If previous studies were not in English, recognized proof of English proficiency is required. So it's only if the previous studies were not done in English. And then you'd also need to submit an up-to-date CV, 2 official letters of recommendation, professional and academic, and a research proposal abstract of 500 words. So this is not really a full proposal, but just an abstract of about 500 words. And support is available. We offer a free short course on research proposal writing to help guide you through this process. So our students who are going through application process have it easy because our application process is actually broken down. Again, this is the beauty with Unicaf. It's scaffolding is the key thing. We scaffold it down for you so you are able to take, manageable chunks. So you would have the submission of the title and you get feedback within 24 hours. It's within a day. The application process simply takes you 5 days at the maximum. And then you submit your objectives, questions, part 2. Again, within 24 hours, you receive feedback. And then you submit the methodology part. Within 24 hours, you receive feedback. And then you are able to submit now a compiled work, given the feedback, into a proposal. And we invite you for interview. And just like that, you become a student and you begin, contributing right from the beginning. So a doctoral degree is a degree that helps you become a new self. Education is not about the end product. It is about the process of getting there. It is not, a means to an end, but it is the process that allows you to strategically step up and contribute actively and productively into your, in your communities. And so if you are an individual who is really interested in undertaking groundbreaking research, an individual who is interested in rubbing shoulders day in, day out with equal-minded researchers, because this is, joining a community of researchers. If you are an individual who is overwhelmed by the high charges, for example, that other universities are charging, and you'd like to get into a financial partnership program where you are able to layer out your education and only pay per module that you're taking at a time. If you are a busy individual with a well-rounded life, family, work, everything, and you want an education system that allows you to do a self-paced independent study while still achieving what you want, then Unicaf is the right place for you. Before we take any questions, I just want to emphasize that if you are on this call and you've not yet submitted your application, the best time to apply for a doctoral degree at Unicaf University was yesterday. And if you didn't do it yesterday, then the next best time to apply is today, now. And the link for this application is right on our website. Yeah. Thank you so much for attending. I think now we'll get to the second part and begin taking the questions.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Christine, and also thank you to Dr. Yasmin for the insightful presentation and taking the time to discuss who we are and what we offer. I would like to quickly pass over to Dr. Yasmin, as I believe she would like to say a few things to our French students.
Yes, thank you, Christine. Bonjour tout le monde. Je voulais juste prendre un petit moment pour dire bienvenue à nos étudiants francophones. Et pour les rassurer sur le fait que des webinaires similaires en français sont organisés très régulièrement. Donc, si vous pouvez rester à l'affût des webinaires en français qui seront organisés. Sinon, si vous voulez suivre ce webinaire, vous pouvez aussi activer l'option traduction sur Zoom qui vous permettra d'avoir des sous-titres en français. Donc voilà, je voulais juste vous dire ça et rester avec nous si ça vous intéresse aussi. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Christine. Back to you.
Okay. Okay. I believe we can move over to the Q&A session now. There is quite a few questions. So what I will do is I will just read them out for you and you can answer. Okay, so the first question we have here is quite a big question, so I'll read it out a bit separately for you. Any advice you have for those interested in doctoral degrees, but without a strong foundation in numbers, statistics, and mathematics research? 1. Should they take MSc degrees that are strong in numbers before considering doctoral studies?
I can answer that. And that's the beauty, again, of the way the program is structured. In the top modules, for example, you will be learning about research methods, but we also provide additional workshops, specifically regularly, or recordings that are available in our help centers for the students to just help them round maybe the necessary skills or knowledge to work on their quantitative research analysis, maybe the statistics part. But also, your supervisors should be a great resource. They have done that in the past. They know there's so many resources right now to be able to do that. There are very intuitive software, free as well that you can use for your statistical analysis. So I would say it's not something that should stop you. It's maybe just something that should actually maybe excite you, because you will be learning more about these and becoming, again, a very well-rounded academic that has that knowledge. There's nothing, everything can be learned, and this is also something that's part of it, if that helps answer your question.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Yasmin. What specializations are organized in PhD in public health program?
I believe there's only one specialization, which is the PhD in public health. So I don't think it is further than split into any other programs. It's an overall PhD in public health program, to answer your question.
Yeah, and so it is your topic that will differentiate the different areas of public health that you'd like to really go into in depth.
Thank you. Okay, how long will the doctoral program last?
Usually this takes 3.5 to 6 years. It depends actually on you, on your level of responsiveness, on your commitment to the program. But overall, about 3.5 to 6 years.
Can you please clarify how are the taught modules delivered? Is it through an interactive session like this, or is it self-guided learning with study materials provided for one's own use on the VLE platform?
Yeah, it's the second option. It's an asynchronous session. We do not have such sessions in the taught modules. We can have them in the dissertation modules, especially as you're conferencing with your supervisor. For the taught modules, everything is provided for you on the VLE. You get a chance to interact with the supervisor through the VLE and also to interact with other students through the discussion forum. But you'll get different types of resources already uploaded to you, and the course already scaffolded for you to completion. The assessments are all clear with clear instructions. You'll even get to see the rubric before you make your submission, all the resources that you need to review in order to complete any assessment, any task, or any modules are already uploaded on the VLE. So it is purely asynchronous.
Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure if you're able to make a quick summary of the part of the presentation about the different PhD field.
Yes, we can definitely quickly do a reminder on that. So we do have many different programs, as we mentioned, most of which will be either under, I want to say, the education field. So we have a PhD in education, a doctorate in education. We have a PhD in public health, a PhD in technology. And then under the business field, we also have different programs. We have DBAs, doctorates in business administrations, and PhDs. So PhDs in business administration, or if you're looking for something more specialized, we have PhDs in marketing management and a PhD in finance and accounting. And also, obviously, our program in French as well for the business administration PhD.
We also have a PhD in law and politics and also in public health. Yes.
Sorry, I forgot that one. Yeah.
And all this information is right on our website. You can actually access this in time. We'll also be sharing a copy of this recording website.
I just want to mention as well, if you do have any questions about any financial questions, unfortunately, we cannot answer this over the session. So if you can contact your advisors, they will be able to help you. Okay, so this one says, I did my bachelor's in agricultural and almost done with my MSc in international business management while focusing in the agricultural space. I would like to have my PhD in law and politics, still zooming in on agricultural. My question is, in this instance, will my supervisor be someone who is open to me incorporating the agricultural background to my thesis? And also, Sorry, also how long will the PhD take?
Yeah, so the PhD will take the normal time, 3.5 to about 6 years. If the PhD is in law and politics, then no agriculture. Unless you're looking at law and politics in the field of agriculture, you will not be able to incorporate agriculture. And I think it was on that question where someone is asking, how do I become eligible? 100% scholarship. I think Christian already answered that.
Yeah, this is something to speak to your advisor about. Okay. How does one gain access to the short course on research proposal writing?
So
Go ahead, sorry,
go
Christian.
ahead. Okay. Yes. So for the short course, for the proposal writing, you'll first of all need to submit your application and we'll need to verify the documents first. And once we have done this, then you will get an invitation into the course and you are able to access it, or you'll get the credentials to help you access the course. But first of all, first things first, we'll need to see your credentials and actually verify the documentation.
Thank you. I did MPA with Unicaf. Can I do a Doctor of Business Administration?
I think the student meant to say MBA, and absolutely yes. That is, a lot of our actual students are graduates from other programs, and I see this progression definitely fits within the expected degrees or master's degrees that you would want to see before enrolling in a Doctor of Business Administration. So the answer is yes.
I would like to know also if there is a blended PhD program.
Unfortunately, no. Ours is a fully online program. That's our design. That's our model. We do not offer the blended modality. Yeah.
Okay. If we are taking it online, will it work online while given the Viva, or we have to attend physically in some places?
Absolutely. You'll have to, everything is online. You don't have to show up physically. So for example, while we are saying we have a campus in Zambia and another one in Malawi, your supervisor does not live in those countries. It's a global community and it is fully online. I was able to present my Viva online, and I've seen other my colleagues, my other students also do the same online. So it's fully online. You wouldn't have to travel. The only opportunity for travel is if you wanted to attend graduation, which is not compulsory, but yeah, then you do that.
Thank you. How can I apply since I am still doing my last module in master degree program and I do not have the transcript yet?
So I'd say that if you do your master's with Unicaf or Unicaf partners, you do not need to wait for transcript. If you can start your application process, well and good, because it is within the same unit. However, if you're doing it from another university, then would have to wait for that transcript to be able to verify. Yeah. Again, it's not something that Unicaf decides single-handedly. It's part of the requirements by our regulators and those who give us accreditation. So we just want to ensure that we keep up with the law.
If I will be completing my master's in August, can I still be admitted to the program? I am wrapping up the master's with Unicaf Zambia.
Yes, definitely. You can actually start the application now. As I said before, you are in the system. You're within the system. So it is Unicaf, from Unicaf to Unicaf. We can access all the information we need because you're already in the system. It would be a very different scenario if you are coming from a university there, which we would have to wait for the official transcript.
Thank you. I'm not sure if we have answered this previously, but I have just completed my last module for my master's. How long does it take to get a transcript to be able to apply for the PhD?
This is the same question as previously. I think that Dr.
Yeah, this way, sorry.
So if it's done through Unicaf, then there's no no issue with the transcript.
Thank you. Okay, is this offering applicable to students who want to get PhDs from Unicaf's partner universities? Additionally, are there scholarships to take on PhDs with Unicaf?
Yes, I do not know what they mean by offering. I mean, which offering they're applying to, but I would say we do not offer doctoral degrees through partner universities yet. We only offer them through Unicaf, the mainstream. Yeah.
Are there opportunities for those who have completed a master's degree at your partner university to receive support for studying for a PhD either at the same university or at another partner university?
I think this is very closely related to the answer I've just given. So we do not offer a PhD degree through partner universities. For the PhD level, we still do it in the mainstream. Yeah, and if you're from a master's degree, then the issues of transcript and all, as I answered previously, but we do not offer doctoral degrees through partner universities yet.
Thank you. Is it possible to pre-apply before completion of master's degree program?
Yes, if you are a current student of Unicaf, if you're studying in one of Unicaf's partner universities, yes. If you are not, then you'd need the documents, like the transcript, for you to be able to apply. So if you've completed, say, everything from your previous university and you're just waiting for graduation, that would be a different case because I'm sure they would be able to generate official transcript and all. But if not, then you'd have to, if you're within the partner universities for Unicaf or within Unicaf, then you wouldn't have to do that. You can still go ahead and just apply now to wait.
Thank you. Okay, maybe we can quickly summarize this question. What are some of the specializations in business administration?
Yes, so very quickly, we have our PhD in business administration or doctorate in business administration, and this is available in both campuses, Zambia and Malawi. But through our Malawi campus, we also have a PhD in marketing management and a PhD in finance and accounting for those who want to specialize in these two fields.
Thank you. Okay, I'm currently in my final stages of completing my MA in English language and literature with Unicaf. I intend to enroll for a PhD as soon as possible. However, my preference was to continue in the line of English language and literature. I'm curious if doctorate in education would be an option for me.
Yes, that would definitely be an option. What we do not have at the moment is a PhD in English language. But like myself, you can still take a PhD in education and study something within linguistics or the English language.
Thank you. Okay, one question. Will the education be different from a master's degree, or will the study be the same approach, i.e. individualized learning with no one to help you study? Also, is there a doctorate degree in clinical psychology?
We have a PhD in public health. That is what we have, unless you align your topic to that specific theme within public health. And then, there was a first question. Could you just repeat it, Christian?
Yes. Will the education be different from a master's degree, or will the study be the same approach, i.e. individualized learning with no one to help you study? And obviously you've answered about the
Yes,
clinical.
so like I mentioned before, our program is fully online. It is self-paced, it is personalized, so individualized learning. You take it at your own pace. However, I should emphasize that the rigor of a PhD program is very different from the rigor of a master's degree program. And so you will get additional resources that can help you engage at the level of a doctoral student.
It's also important to add very quickly that instead of tutors that you usually have for top modules, this time you'll have a supervisor that is assigned to you by the school and that follows you from the start of your research until your final defense. And we also, as a school, organize regular evaluation meetings, sort of like a conference presentation where you would defend your topic, your proposal, to a panel and then get Q&A, questions and comments to allow you to improve your work. There are also many other instances, such as the doctoral research, doctoral research sessions that we organize as well, where you can present in front of, again, scholars and colleagues and get questions as well. There's the UGRAC, such as Christine has presented, our annual conference in which the same happens. So it's definitely not the same approach. It's very much more collegial, as you would expect in any type of research. The peer part of the research is very important.
Okay, I believe you already answered this question about the PhD research part of the program, similar to that done for the master's degree program. I believe you sort of touched on that.
I don't know if they mean the research as in the field part. In that case, again, it would be very different. As my colleague has said, a PhD is very much, it's more rigorous than a master's degree. And so even in terms of data collection, you go into the field, doing your research, analyzing your data, is going to be a very different process where we expect, again, a very high level of rigor from our students. So yeah, it could be slightly similar, but very different in that sense.
Thank you. What are the parameters for the PhD in Law and Politics? Any particular special study modules, or will it be guided by the research proposal?
So at the application point, of course, we review your professional and academic background to see if it fits within the program. And then, of course, within the taught modules, so we have the foundational research modules to even help you with your research in the field. And then, of course, the specificity and the depth within law and politics then would be guided by your topic of study or research.
Thank you. Where do we get contacts of the advisors?
Does this mean the advisors at the taught module level, or all communication usually happens in the VLE? All communications happen in there. You get to message your colleagues, your peers within the course. You get to chat with the tutor or the advisor or the supervisor within the course, within the VLE, I mean. You also get to email them directly through the VLE. So we do not do like phone contacts, WhatsApp, Telegram, or any other. We usually encourage all communication to happen within the VLE, and it's very easy. Once you're in there, it's very easy to drop a line to someone. Yeah.
And just in case the question is for the application stage, because you're also, once you begin your application for a doctoral program, you will also be assigned an advisor for that. So if that's what you are asking, then yeah, at the application stage, once you begin, you will be assigned your advisor and you will have their contact.
Thank you. Okay, there's a few questions. So this one here says, is there a PhD in leadership and conflict management or peace and education? There's quite a few questions similar to this.
So if that is related a little bit to, again, to management studies, then this can be pursued through the PhD in business administration. We do receive quite a number actually of topics and applications in leadership studies. So that's definitely feasible through this route. But I I believe that leadership can be studied as an interdisciplinary topic. So I'm sure that you can find education leadership as well through a PhD in education. It just depends, again, on the specific lens you're looking at it. But currently, we do not offer a PhD in leadership, conflict management, or peace and education, to be specific.
Mm.
I'd also
Okay.
just like to add that one of the taught modules at the PhD level is also on leadership. So you definitely get a component of this here or there. And because this question keeps coming up, and even though this information is still on our website, I just want to quickly run through the program.
Yeah.
So for the PhD level program, we have PhD in business, PhD in marketing management, PhD in accounting and finance, PhD in business administration, PhD in education, PhD in information technology, PhD in public health, PhD in law and politics. And we also have professional doctorate courses like doctorate in business administration, the DBA, and doctorate in education, the EDD.
Thank you. And maybe just to close off this topic, the last question I'll ask about this is, I am a registered general nurse with a MS in occupational hygiene and completing an MA in nursing studies. My desire is occupational health as it relates to nursing. Is there a doctoral study in this area?
Yes, so you can still have a topic in that line, but you will get a PhD in public health.
Thank you. And maybe just one more here in relation. I don't see a PhD in psychology, whereas I did my master's with Unicaf under USW in psychology. Is there any reason why this is not available for the PhD program?
This is something I would need to check because I don't see it in the lineup of the programs we have, but psychology lends itself into different fields, and that could be aligned with any one of the programs that we have. I don't see a specific PhD in psychology.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully we've made ourselves a bit clear on what we do offer. So I will sort of move away from this topic now. So the next question, are there assessed exams? And if yes, which centers do one need to apply to?
Not sure if you mean physical
Yeah,
exams.
I think this is what it means, but obviously everything is,
Everything is online.
yeah.
We do not have physically administered exams.
Yeah, I think that's what they meant. Okay, there's a few questions on that. Okay, during my first degree, I did and specialized linguistics and African languages in Bachelor of Arts Education. Currently, I am studying Master of Arts in Education, where linguistics is not a component. Is it possible to study doctoral program in education taking linguistics as an area of study?
Linguistics as an area of research, yes, because what we have is a PhD in education.
Okay, once enrolled to the PhD, is it possible to do a part-time lectures to the bachelor's degree students?
Yes, that is one of the opportunities we have for you. So you'd simply apply to register your interest. Then you'd get a panel, have an interview with you, and then probably get assigned the different courses that we have at the bachelor's level.
Thanks. Okay, can you take up the offer when comfortable to do so, or does it have to be within a certain time frame?
That's the beauty of the program. It is self-paced. My advice would be take it when you have the chance, because the sooner you start, the sooner you finish. Do not delay. Other things usually come up and detract us from the main track. So if you're making a decision, make it now and get started in the program. However, it is self-paced. So you just need to inform us, yes, I know I've been accepted, but I would like to start at this time. Keeping the communication channels open is very helpful so that we also are aware of your plans. But I would say once you've made a decision to start, do not procrastinate. Get on with it and get started.
Thank you. I am currently pursuing my master's in business psychology with UEL. Which doctorate will be better for me to choose?
Sorry. Business psychology. Well, depends on what topic you suggest. If it's a topic in occupational psychology, that falls under human resources management, so that could definitely fit under business administration. But I mean, we need to take a specific look at your whole progression, your CV. So unfortunately, we cannot answer all of the questions that you guys might have in regards to your specific backgrounds because we don't have all the information. But again, please start the application process, and that's the only way we can truly guide you then with very personalized feedback once we take a look at your CVs and your degrees. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe are you able to do a quick summary of the areas of specialization in education?
So with education, we have a PhD in education, and then we have the doctorate of education. Now, within this, you can specialize according to your topic in whichever area you want. But the degree you are graduating with at the end of the day is PhD in education. So it is basically dependent on your area of research, your research focus.
Okay, I am currently doing a master in public health. Is it possible to do a PhD in accounting and finance?
So yes, once again, another very well, yeah, specific questions dependent on all certain elements that we don't have. But generally, we do emphasize some sort of coherence in your progression, and that means that your degrees progression, your career progression as well aligns with the type of program that we're offering. So we need to look at all of these elements in order to be able to assess whether or not the program is relevant for you, and then discuss that based on these things.
Thank you. What is the requirements to pass each module?
So,
Go ahead.
So for the top modules as presented by Christine, there's a GPA that you need to attain in order to be able to move from those modules to the dissertation stage. And then for the dissertation stage itself, it's not really the grade that matters, as you know, it's your ability to defend your whole project in front of an independent jury of examiners. So it's your final defense at the end of the day that determines whether or not you succeed in this program, and you will get graded based on that. And yes, thank you, Christine. So in terms of the passing grade for the top modules, very important to mention, the passing grade is 70 on 100. And that's the minimum we expect from our students.
I just want to add that for you to actually complete a module successfully, you must have engaged fully in the module by submitting, say, all the main summative assessments that you need to submit, if that is what you're asking, and also engage in the discussion forum that you need to do. So it's mainly about the submissions that you need to submit by the end of the module, and that gets graded. And as Dr. Yasmin already mentioned, this is dependent on you attaining a given pass mark per module for you to progress from the taught modules now to the dissertation modules. When it gets to the dissertation modules, again, you need to have completed all the submissions, but then the key thing there is for you to be able to present your work and defend it.
Thank you. Okay, are you able to explain the difference between a PhD and a doctorate?
Yes, that's also a question that comes up often. A PhD, well, the main difference is, again, what are your goals through this degree? Do you want to then integrate the academic community, become professor, researcher professionally? Then probably the PhD is the best way to go, because we expect a certain level of again, alignment and real theoretical work from you in this type of degree, whereas the DBA is more, let's say, practically focused. So the students who apply or who work on a DBA usually bring in a problem, a real world problem that they have encountered in their organizations or in the institutions that they usually work in, and then try to solve that problem through research, through rigorous research, etc. So you can see a little bit of the difference. So in terms of career path, also this is very important because DBAs lead. They can also allow you to become an academic, but they usually lead to more expertise in the field in terms of becoming a consultant or a thought leader or higher organizational role. Whereas PhDs usually, again, there's no generalization that we can do, but usually lead to more 100% academic roles. But again, both can be true.
Thank you for explaining that. Okay. I have completed the research proposal writing preparation course for the PhD. What does this mean and what is the next process?
So if you've completed the research proposal writing, I'm sure you are saying you've also completed the interview and you've completed generally the application process. And now you are into the matriculation into being a student at Unicaf University. So then you start the launch module. And before you start the launch module, you will have to do an induction module. It's usually a short course that allows you to socialize with the VLE so that you can learn your way around how to navigate the VLE easily, because this will be your main platform of interaction throughout your study. So there is an induction module that you start with before you start the taught modules. In this induction module, you get to know who to contact if you're having a technical problem, who to contact if it's a VLE issue, who to contact if it's a question about a given part of the course, or how to contact your tutor or your supervisor. So you get to learn all this through the induction module. And this module is just to prepare you to be a student at Unicaf. And then now you begin the taught modules and progress through to the dissertation modules.
I have a master's in international relations at Liverpool John Moores. Will I be able to get into a PhD in law and politics?
I think we would have to look into the professional and the academic background. So would have to look into some of the courses that you studied within that degree at master's level to see if there are, any public relations modules or courses that are related to law and politics. So as Dr. Yasmin mentioned, it is easier for us to determine this if we have something to look at. So we have all these things to look at and we are able to compare notes and say, okay, so I think you belong to PhD in law and politics, or we could get back to you and say, we would recommend that you join this other program because this is where you're more aligned based on your professional and academic background.
Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, maybe we should have a couple more questions before we wrap up. I chose Unicaf Zambia for my PhD public health. Does that mean there's any possibility to visit my supervisor in that country?
Like you said before, it's a global team. Your supervisor may not be based in Zambia, for example. I have my students based all over the world. They may not be based in Zambia, and so while I love and admire the zeal to meet this person face to face, it may not be possible, especially if they are not in close proximity. Yeah, but usually once you begin engaging in the dissertation modules, then there are usually such one-on-ones where you have such calls with your supervisor and you are able to go through stuff together.
Thank you. I think we should take one more question now. How long does it take to receive an acceptance letter after completion of application forms?
Also, once you submit your application forms and they are reviewed, then we invite you into the VLE, the short course, so that you can complete the application. You can complete submitting your proposal. Now, once that is done, the last stage of the application is an interview, usually, where you get to discuss about your professional academic background, why you chose the program, and also the specific parts of your proposal. And then once the admissions office has determined that you are an eligible candidate to be enrolled, it usually takes 5 days or less between the time you complete the interview, which is the last part of your application process, to the time when you receive your acceptance letter. It's a difference of 5 working days, usually less.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Christine. And thank you, Dr. Yasmin. I think that we should now wrap up this call. I just want to thank everyone once again, everyone who joined, and to lovely Dr. Yasmin and Dr. Christine. We hope you found this session informative and that it answered most of your questions about who we are and what we offer. However, if you do have any further questions or need additional information, please do not hesitate to contact us at doctoral.studies@unicaf.org. Thank you for your time and your interest. We look forward to connecting with you again soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I think we shall leave it there. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you all for attending and for showing an interest in joining Unicaf. You are in the right place. Make your decision now. Like I said, the best time to apply was yesterday. The next best time is today. So please make a decision and start the process. Every great journey begins with a step, and you can start now. We'll give you all the round-the-clock support that you need in order to successfully complete and accomplish your dreams.
Lovely choice of words. Thank you. Okay, I will now close this call. Once again, thank you for joining. And if you do have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us and we will get in touch.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Goodbye.